its reactions. Here we are for the countertop resin pour. You're gonna need this kit. Is the best, and you get part A, which is the resin, 64 ounces. That's the big kit. This is the hardener, part B. And you always pour hardener into the resin, never resin into the hardener. So the last step is the hardener into the resin, and I'll show you. And then you get these buckets. They're wonderful. So right here we have 32 ounce. So I'm gonna do 32 ounce of the resin. Then I'm gonna pour the hardener in there up to the 64 ounce. Gotta be even, 1 to 1. Here's your stick. Hi guys. You're learning, wanna learn about it? Okay, I'm showing you what you need first. You have to have your wood ready. See, I covered the sawhorses, put a tarp on the ground, because it's gonna sit for 72 hours to completely harden. I have the window open in here, and I'll keep the door shut, and this room will stay with just these in here. Don't put this stuff anywhere where anything could get spilt or dropped on it. You want it in its own space, and you want it to have definitely airflow. So, tape off whatever you don't want resin to get on. I don't want it to get on the inside where the sink will be. And then this tape, from there to there, is where that edge is gonna butt up to this edge. We don't want resin in there. You'll end up having to sand it down. So you might as well just tape it off. You get your level, and you make sure your boards are level, because this is self-leveling. So if it's wonky, it's gonna dry wonky. We don't like wonky, okay, people? Now, first thing we're gonna do. Okay, you ready? All right, so I'll move this stuff so you can see it. So we got our resin right there. And we've got our hardener right there. We got Bubba. Bubba, out of the way, Bubba. You're not part of the tutorial. And then we got our container, right? We got gloves. Hi, Jamie Lynn. You're gonna need gloves. Maybe even a couple pair. That's why I brought a pack. Good idea, in case you find out you're allergic to the hardener. It would be bad. Another good idea, in case you're allergic to the hardener. No, it's not a strong odor. It is the chemical. You know how you can get a vapor, yeah, chemical vapors. It's not like it smells bad. Actually, it doesn't smell bad at all. It is just the fact that people have had allergic reactions to the vapor. So there's that. I always protect myself. Do you see what I'm saying? So, there won't be a whole... let me get the resin in there before I start covering my body. Then I'm gonna move you guys over to there when it's time to pour, but it's gonna be a while because you gotta really mix this. You make sure your container's clean, no dust. Take an air hose, blow it out, because you don't want anything in your stuff. I'm gonna take it with the resin to the 32 ounce line. Okay? And you're gonna pour in the center so it disperses. It's gonna be half this bottle, because I got 2 countertops to do. And I got another bucket in case I need to mix up more. You got plenty of time to work with it, so don't panic. So we're getting our 32 ounces in here. We're almost there. Now I'm gonna stop just shy of it because it's gotta settle. See? And it's settled right to the line. So just stop just short of it because they have to be an even amount. So it is absolutely perfect on that line. Now, I'm gonna put on my goggles, which is gonna be hard because I gotta fill it up to that line now, the 64. Now, I've done resin before, so I know I'm not allergic to it, but I don't play like that. I've done it before without goggles or a mask, okay? So, let's get these mixed up and then I'll put my mask on. But I'll keep my eyewear on. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hardener. Always remember, resin before hardener. Because the chemical reaction starts when these two combine, okay? But it takes a while, so don't get scared. Stay in the middle. Gloop, gloop, gloop. We're going to take it up to the 64. I'm going to stop short of the 64. Let it level out a little, because it'll keep rising as they mix together. Got a little bit more to go. Almost there. Are we there? Almost. Just a drip more. Little bit. We're there. Now we're right on that line. Okay, so we're going to cap this. Kind of smells like a musty basement, if you ask me. We're going to bring our bottle in and make sure there's nothing on your paint stick. And now the mixing together starts. You got to do this for at least 3 minutes. At least. And don't do it vigorously, because you don't want a lot of bubbles. You're going to get bubbles anyway, but you don't want more bubbles than necessary by going too fast. Make sure you go and grab those sides when you're mixing. Get these two mixing together. The bigger the bucket, the longer you got to mix. So, we're just going to keep mixing while we talk. I can't read the chat without my glasses on, so there's a good time. But we're going to keep mixing and mixing and mixing. I'm looking at the time on my phone. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Okay. We were at 7. And we got to keep mixing, people, and it hurts your wrist because it's thick. And then we're going to go back around the edges. Make sure we bring it all into the center. And mix and mix and mix. Now this is the bar top epoxy. So it's a beautiful high gloss. And I did it on raw poplar. I didn't do any stain on my poplar. Now you can stain your wood before you gloss it. You can put embeds. You can mix glitter in here. You can pour it, once you get it all mixed, you can pour it in separate cups, add different colors, drizzle it together. There's a lot you can do with this. Once you mix up a batch, you can put little cups to the side and just start adding acrylic colors. It's getting really clear now. It's not cloudy anymore, which means it's almost completely mixed together. Let me see the time. Oh, fuck, I can't see the time. When you get old, everything's a blur. So we're going to keep pulling from the sides. I take it and go all the way around, bring it all into the center. Make sure this stuff gets mixed really well, because they're 1-to-1 ratio. That's why I didn't put resin in one and then hardener in the other, because then I don't feel like you get 1-to-1 ratio, because you got to keep hoping all this comes out. I don't do that. I get one big jug, put the resin in, and then I add the hardener, and I know that I got a perfect ratio. Perfect 1-to-1 ratio. It's getting crystal clear, which means it's almost done. So when I think it's almost done, I give it another minute. Oh, it kills the arm. It's thick. Now I'll show you what it's looking like. See? Clear. It was really cloudy. So when it gets really clear, that means that you're mixed well. So it's been 3 minutes. Now I'm going to give it another 30 seconds just to make sure everything is mixed together like so. Okay. I'm going to leave that in there. We're putting on gloves because you're going to be using your hands. Well, you don't have to, but I do. We're going to put on our mask. Excuse me. Out of the way. Oh, brother. Flip it around. Put my mask on. Oh my God, why does he have this so tight? I don't even care about the bottom. You know what? Screw it. I just care about my eyes. Ah!
Is that whitewash or paint?
Paint. That's paint. I'll bring you over here. Sorry if it got a little weird for you. Okay, I gotta be able to move around this, so. Do you have a good view? Yeah, you do. You do. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do you one better. Because I'm gonna mix that a little bit more too, so don't worry. I'm gonna do you one better. This is my craft cart full of beads. There we go. Okay. Does that look good, people? Does that look good? Hey? I'm just playing with you. Alright, so I'm going to mix this up a little bit more. See, I'm already getting a little resin mark. There you go. Just wipe that out. Nice. Wipe my stick off, throw it on the tarp. Okay, people, see this? Now you can do it in any way you want. I like to stay in the middle. Oh my God, is that gonna be gorgeous? I like to stay in the middle like so. I gotta be careful, I can't run into these boards. Come on. Hopefully I save enough in here to make sure I get a real thick pour. Right now we're just doing this, see? You want it to go over the edges because you want your edges covered. Woo-wee, how fun is that? Then we're gonna go on these edges. Get your edges. You hear it? It's a big mess, so you gotta make sure. See how much, you see how much that took? Holy crap. Now, don't move it too quick or you'll end up with some deep bubbles, and you don't want the deep bubbles. You gotta push it over the edge. Push it over the edge. Move it around. I like to do it with gloves because it gets the bubbles out. Push it. It is a mess, but it's so beautiful. And you can take, I'll show you how to get rid of the big bubbles in a minute. I gotta get it all covered first. You can see there's some deep bubbles. Some you can just push with your fingers. Let it drip off the edge, because in about an hour, you can come back and you can wipe the edge. Now I know I have tape there, so I ain't worried about that. See, now I got bubbles in there. Now we gotta get over to this one. Make sure you get those edges. I'm not pushing hard by the frog tape because I don't want it to go under my tape. Come on, baby, spread, spread. We gotta have it all covered. Makes a big mess, people. Oh, that's taped anyway. Okay, we're good there. It doesn't matter how many times you run your fingers through trying to get the bubbles. It always levels itself back out. God, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous, baby. Make sure your corners are covered because you want it to flow over. Now, see my bubbles. Make sure that edge is covered. Bubble, 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 bubble. You don't want deep bubbles. So sometimes, let's try. First, I'm gonna take this pair of gloves off. I'm gonna hit it. Now can you see these bubbles? Can you see the bubbles? Pop, 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 pop. You're gonna take your heat gun, and you see any bubbles? They all go away. You don't want bubbles, you want it to look like glass. Stay right there a second, people. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Now it's gonna continue to drip over the edges, which we want it to do. Goodbye, bubbles, they're all gone. If you see any deep ones, you poke them before they dry. You can actually use anything that's pointy. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Get down eye level, look for any bubbles. And if they won't pop with the heat gun, then that means they're deep. So I see one deep one. I'll show you what I do. Where's my? There it is. I'll take like this knife. See how pointy it is? The craft knife. And you'll look. Where was that bubble? Oh, right here. And you'll pop it. There you go. Because some deep ones won't come out. And you'll know because you'll hit it with the heat gun. There we go. There we go. Stick it in there. Oh, there's a big one right there. Ah, I popped it. Nice. Okay. Hit it again. Now you don't want to keep the heat gun in the same spot for too long because it'll make it start to dry faster than the rest. And that's when you'll get a weird whatever. Because the heat gun's really hot. You can also use a torch. I like the heat gun. Oh my God. I am a master. Now, did I not make that look easy? Hold on, let me show you what's up. Let me remove you. Hi. Okay, I'll show you. Look at this. It's like glass. And that, people, is how you get it like glass. See the light in there? There is no bubbles. If you move it around with your fingers and then hit it with your heat gun, boom. Now this has to dry. Oh, see that big bubble? Do you guys see it? Hold on, let me show you. I'll point it to you. Probably a part of the wood. Hold on. God. That's all right, caught you. All right, let me show you. I want you to really see this. And I don't want anything. All right. Look at how gorgeous this is, by the way. Do you see that? Right there? Watch this. What it is the wood has a divot in it. So we got to make sure the resin gets in there deep. I can feel it. It's like a cavity in a tooth. I can feel it. It's a hole. So you got to make sure the resin gets in there or it'll keep breathing up into that bubble. So we got to keep an eye on it. Because wood is just that way. I think we got it, but we'll come back and look. It's like a mirror. Isn't that the most gorgeous poplar you've ever seen? Over there's my solar. You see it? It's not coming back. Look at that. Like glass. No bubbles. Let it drip off the edge. You can keep coming back and wiping the edge off, but this is how it levels itself. So you don't want to mess with it until it starts settling. And then you got to keep looking for bubbles. Because you don't want that deep bubble to come back. It'll dry just like that. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Hear it dripping? This is why you lay a tarp. Let it drip over the edges. Have the edges hanging over. Because it needs to drip. So, look at that. This is the easy... See it come back. Look at the bubble. That's why we're watching it. Because there's a spot in the wood. Where am I? Right there. See it? Came back. I'm going to have to get that resin down in there so it stops doing that. Oh, shit. My blade. Ah! There's definitely a hole in the wood right there. See how the blade stays in? We got to get the resin down in there. And then it'll quit making a bubble. All right. I'll keep an eye on it, though. I'll keep popping it as it dries. So I'll have to be making trips up here. I see some little bit of surface bubbles. I'll show you how this works. All right. Okay, that wasn't a... Okay, so they're over there. See how it moves it just a little? It's popping the surface bubbles. There we go. Because they may start, you know, little bubbles might start surfacing. You just got to keep hitting it. All right. I got to put you guys up here because I got to concentrate on the job at hand. Yes, I dropped all those face sponges all over the floor. I still haven't cleaned up the shop. There we go. I still haven't cleaned up the shop. God, is that gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Goodness. So I did that on raw wood, and it brought out the beauty of the wood without having to stain it. It's kind of like polyurethane, really fast, and no sanding. When it's dry, it's a piece of glass. God dang that little bubble. There we go. Got it again. It's going to keep surfacing. But it's getting smaller and smaller because there's a hole in the wood. It's fine. No bubbles. Nice. Now, if you were to stain this first, it would fill in all the natural, you know, little air pockets in the wood. And you wouldn't have to keep watching. But I didn't want to stain it. I wanted to bring it to life. So then what you can do is, let's see. We can take, let me see. I need a pair of gloves. Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. I just need one glove. So what you can do is, you can see it dripping over the edges, and you don't want those to dry, or you end up sanding them all off. And it's going to drip for a while, but you can minimize it by just taking your gloved hand, doing this, and just letting it drip on, off onto the floor. Just go around the bottom, grab those bubbles. Oh, grab those bubbles. And you're gonna have to keep doing that, by the way, or you'll have drips that dry. Because it's gonna self-level for probably the first hour. So I'll come back up here in an hour, go back around the edges, and just keep letting it dry. Throw that glove on the ground. Okay, so one final hurrah. Hi! Yeah. See? It's like glass. Like glass. And see, there's no more dripping over the edge, but when I come back, oh, down at the end there is. When I come back up here in an hour, I'll run my finger underneath again and get all the excess. But I got all the stuff that was dripping. Look at it. Gorgeous. And look how pretty the grain looks. Oh, yeah. Not too bad, huh? You can do this to your own countertops. There's lots of videos where you can marble them. You can paint like a base white on even a Formica counter. Just get a flat white, paint the whole countertop, and then mix up your epoxy, and then make little cups and do black and silver, and you can just marbleize it. But that's starting to get a little more on the pro side. This is the easy way to work with it and learn how to work with it. So there you go, guys. What did you think? Easy enough? All right, let's get out of here and let that sit. Let's take Bubba. Wow. I got the windows open. We're going to let those sit and dry and stay out of this room. See, no pups allowed. Left my glasses in there. That's great. Okay, hold on. And I'll tell you what we've been up to today. Let me go get my glasses. Hi, I'm here. I went in, that bubble came back, so it's gonna be an all-day thing till it fills in and behaves itself. So, what did you think? Did you enjoy it? Did I make it seem easy? Good, because it is. You just can't be afraid of it. I can still go in there and move it around with my hands. I have a while. I mean, you can do that for like an hour or so. But I think it's perfect, so I'm leaving it. I'm going to let it self-level, keep dripping off the edges. Then I'm going to go in, clean around the edges, and then keep attacking that one. There's a little hole in the wood, and the resin keeps trying to burp. So I'm going to keep poking that thing. Did you like it? Okay, Rain. Let's see who's in here. Maybella, Pat, Tammy, Thunder 420, Cindy Lou Hoo Hoo. No nudes to YouTube dudes. Pat D. Who else we got in here? I'm exhausted. Jamie Lynn, I've missed you. Who else? Oh, that's it. That's the only one's chatting anyway. So, yeah, this is the Van Build channel. And if you're just joining, I just did a bar top epoxy resin pour on the counters that are going in the little van kitchen, and it looks gorgeous. People are afraid to do it, but once you do it, it's not that hard. It is a waiting game, and just keep checking on it and keep attacking the bubbles. That's the main part with epoxy. You don't want to see any bubbles. Deep bubbles, you can grab them right now and get them out. That's why I'm going to keep going after that one that keeps coming up. Had I known that hole was there, I would have filled it. Then I wouldn't be having this problem, but I didn't know because it was raw. So there's that. If I would have stained it, it would have filled the hole. But I wanted a raw pour, so there's that. It's been a busy day working on the van. It took forever to cut out that sinkhole because you've seen it's a strange shape. And we got that finally done. And then he's been putting in the supports for it. Then we had to cut the countertops perfect so we could put the sink in, and then I could epoxy them. And it's just been a long day. And I think we're both ready to tap out. We are exhausted. I even went and got us some food from local Mexican restaurant because we didn't even have breakfast. And it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I looked at him and I go, have we eaten today? And he's like, no. I said, I'm going to have to go get us some food because we were busy. So yeah, we're going to clean up, and tomorrow I'll come back and show you guys what those look like, because they'll be dried but not cured, because they have to cure layer by layer by layer. That's why you don't keep running the heat gun over the top. You don't want to cure or heat up the top layer and then the other layers. It's not good. You want it to each layer to dry consistently. That's why you let it sit. And after 72 hours, it is rock hard. And listen, you can't do anything to hurt it, okay? I don't recommend putting any hot pots on it because it is bar top epoxy. So you don't want anything warm on there. It could leave a dent, right? Warm it up and leave a little dent. So always put something down. If you do a bar top epoxy, just put something down so that a hot pan's not sitting on it. We won't have that problem because we're not cooking in a van. So we won't have that problem. But if you're doing your kitchen counters, just keep that in mind. Always put down one of those pot. What do they call? What do they call? Done. My brain is done. You know what I mean. Or even like a ceramic tile with a hot pot. Well, hello, Miss Shannon. Did you just watch my bar top epoxy pour? You've been watching the van build. So much fun. Can't wait to take it on a trip. The hell's a trivet? Pat, you make up shit. I always play around with Pat. A trivet? What's a trivet? Where you all live? You live in the UK? I've never heard of a trivet. Oh my God. I try to catch it when I can. Oh my gosh, love you. Thank you. Are you going to come back on this channel or your main channel? Maybella. Maybella. I'm not coming back on either channel today because we are still finishing up this mess. It's really called a trivet. Okay, put a trivet down. Never heard of it. I'm not, tomorrow I will be on it, Preach It Sunday on No Madness Live, and then I will come back on this channel again tomorrow, but I'll probably just make a video and show you how well it's drying. How about that? I'll make you a video. Or I'll just come back Monday on this channel live and show you after it's completely dry. I thought you were talking about putting hot things in the epoxy. I'm busy in the kitchen. Yeah, you did hear me wrong. I said after you've poured an epoxy countertop, you don't want to set a hot pan on it because it could melt. You know, it could leave actually not melt, but it could leave a ring. It could disperse the epoxy if you heat it up from setting a pan on it. After it's cured and dried, and that's your finish, right? Do you get what I'm saying now? You put a hot plate down. Isn't that what it's called? Hot plate. I don't even know. I don't even care. I gotta be honest. Just don't set hot shit on it. You get it now? Okay. So, that's where we're at. My brain, I have COVID. I have long COVID. It's so bad. I hope it, see? I hope it turns itself around eventually. I really do. It's either that or I'm going to have early dementia from it. I don't know. I don't like it though. So anyway, I'm going to get going. We got to finish up what we're doing. I got to go in there and that bubble probably came back. I got to stay on top of that. And I got to keep cleaning up the edges on that because I want it to dry beautiful. Okay? So you guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. And you can epoxy anything. You can resin anything. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.